Busy tonight, says Robin. That's because it's a public stream, sir. Hello, people. It is indeed a public stream tonight, so we'll have all and sundry joining us in this particular stream, which is kind of what I'm hoping for, because I have a lot of things I want to talk about, and I want everyone to be in here, quite frankly, not just the members. Be good to see everybody, to be frank. It's been a while since I did a public stream. And so it's about time, really. Good evening. Good evening. How are we? Are we all good? We have Dave in here, Jade, Robin, Mike, and Sean. Mostly members at the moment, but I'm sure a few other people will join. Hello, Richard. You're in here too. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're all having a good evening, whatever you may be doing. As you can see, it's pretty much a standard evening for me. Sat with the Udi on and just basically chilling, waiting for tomorrow, basically. Good evening, Roger. First time you've been in one of these streams. Roger, if you don't know people, is one of the guys who watches virtually every video I put out. He's not a member, and it's good to see him in the chat. Hello there. Hello there. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for watching every video I make. Joseph's in. Hello. Some familiar faces. Good evening, Alice. Good evening. Right. Okay. So, hello, another Roger, a visitor from New Zealand, currently in the UK. Excellent. Getting a bit of worldwide coverage then. That's good. I know I do have a few New Zealanders out there who do watch my stuff. So that's good that you guys are joining in too. Okay, so the reason this is a public stream is quite simple, really. It's because you will have noticed there was no new video today. Now, the members know about all this already, but all of you that aren't, I'll explain it to you now. This week is a break week. There's going to be no videos at all, no main episodes this week. So they will resume from next Monday. Don't worry, the members don't get preferential treatment because they haven't got any new videos today either. They're going to have to wait until next week for their next lot. So you're all in the same boat. The reason for this break is because I had to put it in to give myself enough time to do this filming sort of mini marathon, which I'm doing over the next couple of days, heading down to Berkshire and Hampshire and to East Sussex. So 2 counties I've not yet touched before, and one that I've only touched once briefly before. So it just gives me enough time to sort of get through all that lot and then put them out afterwards. I need the break because otherwise I'd be trying to catch up with myself and it wouldn't be very good. I'd be tripping over myself trying to get them out quickly, and I don't really want to do that. So yeah, there is a break this week. You can see it, I suppose, as kind of a way to catch up with some stuff that you've not yet seen, because we're chucking a video out there every day. I do realize that for you viewers, it can be a little bit sort of overwhelming at times to watch everything. So you've got like a week now to sort of make up ground, I suppose, and catch some of the ones you may not have yet seen. So yeah, it's good for us all. It's not going to affect my sort of end time for all of this. It's still going to be 2050 or thereabouts. A week is not going to hurt anything. So yeah, this break is needed for a couple of reasons. So that's what's happening. Now, as to where I'm actually going, places I'm actually going to be visiting, in Berkshire, I'm going to be taking on 5 which are close to Newbury. I'm going to be going to West Ilsley, East Ilsley, Farnborough, not the one in Hampshire, Catmore, and Peasmore. And they've got some interesting tales to tell. The Ilsleys are very much horse racing country. It's very close to Newbury Racecourse. We'll be talking a lot about the stables that the Queen used to own. We'll be talking a bit about Sir Frank Williams, because he lived in East Ilsley at one point. Peasmore is where David Cameron grew up. So without giving too much away, that's going to be a nice little set. In Winchester, we'll be talking a lot about watercress, because we'll be in the Meon Valley. So I'll be talking a lot about that and where it grows and why it grows so well down there. Few decent little stories to tell down there as well. I found one about a Civil War soldier who hid in the manor house in one of the villages I'm going to and never came out again. He was only discovered some 300 years later. And basically, when they found his body, he just disintegrated on exposure to the air. So that will be cool to talk about. And in East Sussex, I'm heading down to an area between Lewes and Newhaven along the banks of the River Ouse. Yes, there is another River Ouse. I'm not talking about the one in York. I'm about the one that runs into the English Channel. And in that one, we'll be talking a lot about what the Ouse's importance was to Sussex and some tragic stories that go along with it, including the death of a very famous writer. I won't give too much away, but this is all to come. So hopefully you'll be entertained by all of that. Just going to go back up the comments because I've had a lot come in there as I was saying all that. So let's see who said hello. Anne-Marie, hello. Good to see you. Dave Scott, hey, Andy, it's been a minute. Indeed it has, sir. Indeed it has. These public streams don't come around all that often these days. And, you know, when you're offered the chance to have one, take it with both hands. It's always good when there's a lot of people. When there's a lot of people in here. Dave says, I'm so far behind, was badly hacked on all my platforms. Well, Dave, you've now got a chance to catch up, haven't you? You got a chance to catch up. We've got a week to sort of go through some stuff you may have not seen. Joseph says, I've never been to those counties. Wish you all the best of luck on your well-deserved break. Certainly been reading my thoughts on catching up with older episodes. Well, there you go. Maybe it was good for everybody, eh? Angie, you're new. Not seen you before in any stream or anything or any comments. You must be new. Not sure if you're one of Nikki's followers. You could be. Hi, I watched too with Roger. Brilliant. Thanks very much. Oh, Badger, who won it? Who won what, sir? I've no idea. I don't know what you're talking about. Only one River Ouse in my house. That must be the one in Yorkshire you're talking about. Well, there is another one down south. So, yeah, we'll be talking about that river, and it's dead straight too, mostly because it was canalized by a man we know very well. You can tell I've been researching these places, can't you? Jade says the Grand National's on this weekend. Is it? Wow. Okay, didn't know that. I know it's normally around this time of year. Obviously, we'll be talking a lot about horse racing in these episodes, but wrong race course because, of course, the Grand National takes place at Aintree. Not sure if that's ever going to be covered, in fact, in an episode. It might be. I'm not quite sure whereabouts Aintree is in relation to Liverpool, but we'll see when we eventually get up there. Goodham's Travels, that's Tom, isn't it? Tom Ellis, am I right? Yeah, I think that's you. What made you decide to call your channel The Village Idiot? Well, it's funny you should say that, sir, because I will be making a video in the not too distant future as to why that name came about. I was thinking about this the other day and how some people have asked me that, and I haven't really been able to give you a proper answer. So all I'll say in response to that, Tom, is sort of sit tight and wait for that episode to come out, and you'll understand then. Then everybody can stop asking me the same question. Robin says, Ouse 3 flows through Norwich. Yes, there is indeed another Ouse in Norwich too. Shan't be going to Norfolk on this particular trip, but it would be good to get back to Norfolk again, wouldn't it? It really good. It really would. I've not been down there for a while. I'm going to be quite close to Norfolk, though, in a few weeks' time, because I'll be hitting Peterborough for the first time, which, of course, is like very close to the Norfolk border. And I'll also be going to a couple around Wisbeach too. So getting out that way again, but not quite into Norfolk. Not yet anyway. So every time I look at the map, I always think to myself, I've not been there. I've not been there. I've not been there. When am I going to get there? And I end up sort of planning these ideas, planning these runs together. And I always seem to omit something. And I think, oh, I'll go there next time. But then I get another idea and completely forget about it. And Norfolk's kind of falls into that bracket because I haven't really looked at it properly again yet, even though I am going to be quite close to it again in the not too distant. But my main focus, as you know, has been on North Kesteven and been on trying to start as much of Leicestershire as possible. And with that in mind, I haven't really sort of thought about stuff like that as much as I maybe should. But when you've got an aim, I think it's best just to keep to that aim and fill in around it, if you know what I mean. So Richard says, when am I going to Castleton? Okay, so as far as High Peak goes, Richard, there are 10 left for you guys to see, although I've only got 8 to go to personally because I did the other 2 this weekend just gone. It was meant to be today that I did them, but a few things altered and I had to go Saturday instead, which is not a problem because they're now done. And the Guess Where I Am episode, incidentally, that you saw on Saturday was filmed in one of those 2 places. Those 2 will be coming out in May. It's a while before they come out, but they will hit your screen soon. Now, the other 8 that are left, I've got plans to do Chisworth and Hayfield. Now then, when am I doing them? I'm doing them in a couple of weeks' time. But the other 6, including Castleton, I don't have any plans for them yet. Possibly, I might, if all things go to plan, I might be able to get High Peak done this year. But swings and roundabouts, I don't know sort of how it's all going to gel together with other things I've got going on. But I will sort of try, I think, to get High Peak done because there's not many left now. And obviously Castleton being one of them, it would make sense to sort of do it this year, wouldn't it? So we'll see. I think people are enjoying that High Peak series, actually. Beautiful Derbyshire scenery, lots and lots of history to talk about. It's just got everything, hasn't it? It really is good. It really is good. So Dave says, have you done much of Surrey? I'll tell you how much of Surrey I've done, Dave. Nothing. Surrey is one that I haven't yet started. It will be done at some point. I just don't know when. I just don't know when. It's one of them that I sort of overlook a bit. And the reason I think I overlook it is because it's so close to London. It's full of places which are quite big. And I, as you know, tend to do more than 1 in a day, try and do 5 if I can. And it's difficult to do 5 when they're all massive. So I look for places that have got sort of clusters of 5 together, small ones. And I don't think Surrey really fits that bill, to be honest with you. Of course, I've got to go there at some point. I have to. But yeah, I think that's the main reason why I've been overlooking it up to now. So yeah, you never know. It might end up being really good. I don't know. I've not done any of it yet. John says, when will Nikki be joining you again? Right. Okay. So let me let you into a little secret here, people. Currently, Nikki will be coming with me again in the not too distant, but with her dental work, you might not know about this. Nikki's had some teeth taken out. So on her channel over on Simply a Stitcher, all her content at the moment is being filmed sort of, yeah, it's not facing, if you know what I mean. So
until I've got my work finished, I'm not going on camera.
Yeah, so until Nikki's dental work is finished, you won't see her on camera. But Nikki is going to come with me at some point again in the not too distant future. We have Saturdays, every other Saturday is now free, thanks to a shall we say something that happened a couple of weeks ago.
Shall we just say a change in?
Yeah, a change in circumstances. A change in circumstances. So Nikki is now able to come with me more again. But you won't see her on camera is the point I'm making because of this dental work. But once it's all done, there's no reason why, it can't be like you're sort of used to. I know you guys haven't seen her for ages, and I know you like seeing her on camera. I know you like seeing Lauren and Hannah as well, if they, potentially come with us.
I've lost quite a lot of weight since I was last.
Yes, Nikki has lost quite a bit of weight too, since you last saw her. So still same old Nikki, but a bit.
That's for the old comment.
Well, people don't like change, do they?
Yeah, but you're calling me old.
You're not old.
You give me an old crack.
You're not old.
You know.
You're not old. You're absolutely not old. Okay, so that's the answer as far as Nikki goes. You will see her again in the not too distant, I promise you. I hope you're not getting bored of just me.
Mrs. TVI will be back soon.
Mrs. TVI will be back soon. Let's see. Richard says, are there any parishes in Tameside? Yes, there are. One, Mossley, which I should have already done, by the way. It was meant to be done last year, at the back end of last year. But I just kind of ran out of time for it on the day that I was meant to do it. And I just thought, I can't really do it, so I'll leave it for another time. But I've held on to the route plan, and I've held on to all the other bits and bobs for it. So it's just a case of getting there and doing it. But yeah, Mossley is the only one in Tameside, and I will do it at some point. It's not far away, actually. It's only literally just over the Pennines. Where I was in High Peak on Saturday, I was only 5 minutes away from Mossley. So that tells you how close it is. It's basically just north of Stockport. It's not hard to get to. So yeah, I will get there at some point. It's a big one though. It's massive, is Mossley. So it's some punishing hills too, apparently. So it'll be fun. Eventually get there. So yeah. Yes, Joseph, only one Mossley, that's right. Joseph also says, can't recall if I've set foot in Cambridgeshire, but I've definitely been to Norfolk and had a day in Suffolk too. Surrey is another on my list. You see, as far as Cambridgeshire goes, we've kind of got a little system. It's kind of an unofficial system, isn't it? I always seem to go to Cambridgeshire just before Christmas. I've done it for the last 2 or 3 years. And I think that system is going to continue, to be honest with you, because people like me going there just before Christmas, I think. Nikki's just disappearing off upstairs. I'll join you when I'm done, Nikki.
I had an early start this morning.
Okay, no probs.
4:30 start. Oh, it kind of wrecks me.
Yes, you were awake at 4:30, weren't you? It was a bit of a bit
of a day.
Yeah, a bit difficult, that, isn't it? Yeah, but a bit of a day. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll keep that sort of Cambridgeshire system because I think people are liking that. So yeah, just basically we'll carry on doing it until I run out of places to go, I think. Shouldn't take me too long. It's not the biggest county in the world, to be honest. So yeah, we'll see. John says, my brother is in Lincoln at the moment. He wants me to visit during the summer. Should I visit? Should I visit? I'll be on the hunt for some silver parishes. Okay. Well, you know where to go, John. You know where to go. I've got pretty much everything that borders Lincoln is pretty much done, apart from one. I have one left that still borders the city, and that is North Hykeham, which will be done in the not too distant future because obviously it's in North Kesteven, and I want that done. I initially said by the end of May. That's not going to happen now because of other things that have gone on. But certainly I think by the end of June it should be completed. So yeah, I will be going to North Hykeham in the not too distant future and get that one sorted out. Again, that's a big one. So Robin says, hate dental work. Nikki has my sympathy. Yeah, what they've done, Robin, is effectively they've taken all of the teeth out because there were a few sort of problems with them. I don't know the ins and outs of it because I've not been in the sort of dentist office or in the room where Nikki's in the chair. I haven't been with her to the dentist. I haven't been able to. So I don't fully know the sort of circumstances, but effectively Nikki now doesn't have any teeth at all. And so for the next sort of 9 or 10 days while they sort of sort these dentures out, Nikki's sort of walking around like that. You know what I mean? Like this. Now, obviously, with that being sort of a problem for her visually, it's just sort of affecting her ability to be on camera, which is why on her channel it's all at the minute sort of facing away from her face. Which personally I don't think there's much difference to look at her, but Nikki's very self-conscious, and I fully agree with her sort of stance of doing her content like that, and I wouldn't want it to be any of my videos looking like that, frankly. So yeah, that's the current situation with that. I mean, honestly, everyone I think hates dental work, but to have virtually all your teeth taken out is quite something, isn't it? So much sympathy for her. Absolutely. Let's see. Did that start coincidentally? Not sure what that's a reference to, Joseph. Did that start coincidentally? What's that all about? Richard says, how's the Mazda running? The Mazda is running fine. Trusty motor, getting me around everywhere. It's got a lot of driving to do tomorrow. So yeah, it's fine, absolutely fine. Oh, the Cambridgeshire Christmas thing, Joseph. Yes, it did. It was a coincidence. So happy coincidence, if you ask me. Jamie's in here. Good evening, Jamie. You snuck in again. Sorry you don't get on lives much now. Pretty busy. That's all right. No one says you have to. No one says you have to be in these lives, Jamie. If you want to join, you join, sir. It's entirely up to you. No hard and fast rule that says you must be in everyone. Check out The Wandering Turnip. He recently did Lincoln and fell in love with it. Now then, The Wandering Turnip. I forget his actual name. Is it Ben something? I saw an article about that because he's pretty similar to me, but he's not trying to do what I'm doing. He just travels around and sort of reviews places. I saw an article about him visiting Lincoln, and yes, he did indeed fall in love with it, and so he should. So he should. Native Lincolnian right here. So yeah, yeah, he seemed pretty happy with it, didn't he? And so he should be. Richard says, I had all my wisdom teeth out a few years ago. It was no fun. Nikki's basically been saying that the pain is actually more where the sort of anesthetic jabs have been, not the sites where the teeth were. It's where the injections have been that's the problem. And so that's what her sort of painkillers are for at the moment. But yeah, it can't be nice. I've still got all my adult teeth. I've never had a tooth taken out or anything like that. I've had a couple filled, but none of these have disappeared. They're all still there. And I can't imagine what it's like just having one out, let alone as many as Nikki's had. It's incredible. Okay. Lewis says, when will the rest of Amber Valley be completed? This is a question I get a lot. There are 4 left, and I've kind of left it by the wayside. I'm sorry I have. The thing is that the 4 that are left in Amber Valley are 4 of the biggest ones in Derbyshire, all told. Ripley, Belper, Cryche, and Hena and Losco. And because they're so big, it's difficult to know when to plan to do them and what to do with them. Because they're so big, you ideally want to be doing them on their own, each one, which kind of means that, say, for example, Ripley, if I was to do that, I would want to go and do it and then go off somewhere else and spend a night and then have another run somewhere else to make it sort of easier for me. And it's just a case of knowing when to do it. And at the minute, I don't have any plans to do them because I haven't sort of been able to work out when's best to fit them in, if that makes sense. Regardless, they will be done. It's just a case of when. With everything, it's a case of when. And at the minute, I can't answer that question. I really don't know. Don't get me wrong, I definitely do want to do all 4 of them, pretty sharpish, because I'd like to get Amber Valley completed. But yeah, I'm just a little bit, when do I do them? When do I not do them? I've got to work it out. At the minute, I've got other priorities. So yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you posted on it. Josie says, I've got a couple of minor problems with my teeth. Dental will be looked at in the coming months. Yeah. It's never nice having any teeth problems. John says, I'll be doing more the tourist thing, visiting the football grounds. Okay, so if you're in Lincoln, John, you have to go to the footballing mecca, which is Sincil Bank. So yeah, you must go there. I recommend you have a look at Ashby Avenue as well, which is where Lincoln United play. Not a million miles out of the city centre. you can definitely read if you're using public transport, you can definitely get to that easy enough by bus. It's in the sort of Lincoln suburb that's called Hartsholme. Nice little ground is Ashby Avenue. Obviously, I do prefer Sinsel Bank because up the mighty imps. So yeah. Richard says, have you seen Honest Places on YouTube? Well worth a watch. Nope, not heard of that, sir. Dave says, I'm a Derby County fan and would love to go to a game. Yeah, you're in Australia, aren't you, Dave? So, yeah, Derby County, yeah. They're currently towards the bottom of the championship, as I'm sure you know. Actually, I do think they will stay up. You know, looking at the last sort of few games, you think maybe they might be going down, but Cardiff aren't in great form. Hull aren't in great form. Okay, Luton are having a bit of a resurgence at the minute, and so are Plymouth. But I think Derby are too good to go down, quite frankly. I think they will survive. They've got a couple of games to do it. I think they will. So we'll see. Never been to Pride Park myself. Been past it a couple of times, but never actually experienced a Derby home game. Susan, hello, Susan. You're new. Was born in Belper. Cool. Belper Town as well. Yeah, says John. Cool. Yeah. Forget now what league they're in these days. I think they're about seventh or eighth tier. I think they're certainly not sixth tier. Let's see.
I thought I heard Lauren.
No, Lauren's still upstairs, I believe. That was Hannah. Hannah's just come to say hello.
No, I haven't.
What are you down here for then? Are you feeding the cat?
I might consider it.
No, I think Hannah's come down to feed the cat. It's about her time. Lewis, that's understandable. I just wondered, I'm happy that you covered where I live. Not saying where, but it's one of the Amber Valley parishes with all the hills. Excellent stuff. I'm glad I could do it. Jamie says Cardiff will go down. I think out of the ones that are towards the bottom of the championship, I think they're the most likely. I don't think Plymouth will survive. I think they've probably left it a bit too late. Luton, yeah, they're having a bit of a turn of form now. But I think they'll probably go as well. And I think Cardiff will probably end up going. Depends what Hull do, I suppose. Lewis says DCSC for life and Matlock Town. Speaking of Matlock, Lewis, there's the first run back after this break is all in the Dales, Derbyshire Dales, and all the villages that are in that run are close to Matlock. I'm talking places like Birchover and Stanton in Peak, Nether Haddon, which is more Bakewell, but it's not far from Matlock, is it? Roseley as well, and Harthill. Those are the 5 that are in that run. So I am getting very close to Matlock itself. Of course, Matlock will get its own video because it is indeed a parish. It'll actually get 2 videos because there's Matlock Town and Matlock Bath, which are sort of joined together. I'm actually looking forward to those 2. The one reason I'm looking forward to them more than anything else is I want to try with the head strap, with the GoPro on sort of my head here, to walk along Giddy Edge. Now, if you don't know what Giddy Edge is, it's a footpath that's kind of like on a mountainside with a steep drop to your, I think it's the right-hand side, and only a handrail on the sort of mountainside and not one on the sort of edge of the path, on the edge of the drop, if you get my drift. But I'll need the head strap for it because there's no way I'm trying to carry my camera along that. So I do definitely want to attempt that. So yeah, we shall see. that's what I'm looking forward to that, if nothing else. Of course, there are other things in Matlock. There's the Heights of Abraham, which has got the cable cars. I think are they still there, the cable cars? It's been years since I've been on that. Anyway, have I bought some blue tack yet, says Richard? Yes, I have. You know what the thing is, I often forget my cards. I leave them in the car because I'm a twit. That's my biggest thing. I just can't remember to take them out of the car with me. It's not so much blue tack now. But there we are. John says if we start talking about football, the women may leave. They won't, John. You know what? Women quite like football these days. I've sort of learnt this over the years. Would you ever do a cross-border parish like Wrexham? Not until I've done all of England. That's another question I get quite a lot. What am I going to do when England's done? Well, when England's done, I shall be in my late 60s. And if I've still got the energy, I will try and attempt to do Wales or Scotland potentially.
You need to take the kitchen light off while you go to bed, so I can't turn it off.
All right, no problem, Hannah. Yeah, I will do. So yeah, I mean, I want to get England done first. That's the main priority. But if I still feel like I've got the energy in my 60s, I will try and attempt maybe something Welsh or something Scottish. We'll see.
What do you mean? You're 100 years old.
Thanks for that, Hannah. Thanks for that. I'm only 41. Blimey. Robin says, just read the Lincolnshire Live article on the Wandering Turnip, and his name is David Burnip. He's Lancastrian. So we kind of crossed paths then, didn't we? He's come over here and I've gone over there. Will you be visiting the Heights of Abraham? Yes, I will. Went to Matlock Bath for the seasonal lights. Cracking stuff. Not been there for years, so I genuinely don't know what they look like these days. Stanton Peak and Roseley I know very well. Be happy to see those videos around Matlock. Cool. One video series I recommend is Primal England. He doesn't do traveling, just talking about life in general. Cool. I don't do a lot of actual YouTube watching myself because I'm too busy making videos to put on the blooming thing. I got asked this question a while ago, what do I watch on YouTube? The answer is not much because, like I said, I'm too busy making videos. But the only time I sort of do get to actually watch anything is when I'm sort of laid in bed about to go to sleep. So I get sort of like half an hour, maybe 45 minutes every night, just, flicking through YouTube and seeing what there is out there. I'll tell you one thing I have been watching just lately when I've been laid in bed. You're going to laugh at this. But I was sort of idly scrolling through YouTube one night and I saw a video of an old episode from the 1990s of the classic game show Blockbusters. I remember watching that as a kid. And so I started watching it and I thought, I've not seen this for years. Remember the format and all that. And I sort of fell down the rabbit hole of watching more and more episodes of it. You can't beat a classic show like that. And you certainly will never have anyone better to present that than good old Bob Holness. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And you know what? You look at it, I think it was from 1992, this episode. And it was just like I was back in the 90s watching it again. It's like it's very familiar. It's all sort of, it's not new to you again. It's just, oh, I recognize this. It's just as I remember. Tell you what, attitudes have changed a bit, haven't they? Since then, the world has definitely changed a bit since then. Some of the stuff that they talk about on there, you wouldn't be able to get away with it in today's world. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I kind of fell down that rabbit hole, and ended up watching a few episodes of that. Actually, interestingly, you might like this. One of the episodes I watched featured these two guys called Paul. I can't remember their surnames, but they were very smartly dressed and sort of spoke with a sort of very eloquent accent, almost like very posh accent. And one of them is now the Bishop of Oswestry in Shropshire. So that was quite cool to discover that. I was sort of looking through the comments, and one of them said, "I wonder what the two Pauls are doing now." And one of the comments basically said, "Well, one of them is the Bishop of Oswestry." And I thought, "Wow, that's incredible." And he actually has his own YouTube channel because I sort of saw that and thought, "Oh, I'm going to check that out." I found the guy. He looks a bit different now. He's got a beard for a start. And yeah, you can tell it's him. Obviously, just 30 odd years later. He was only appointed in 2022. So what he's been doing with his life in the last sort of 30 odd years, I've no idea. But yeah, that was quite a cool thing. So So yeah, just shows you what people do with their lives when they've been on telly. Bishop of Oswestry. I have to cover Oswestry at some point when I eventually start Shropshire. So never know. Might bump into the guy. You never know. Let's see. Can I have a pee, please, Bob? Yes. Oh, it's that famous line, isn't it? Jade says Crystal Maze. Yeah, that's another classic. Absolutely love the Crystal Maze. Although I must say, Jade, right, as far as presenters go, it's always Richard O'Brien. It's never Ed Tudorpole. Always. Nothing against Ed Tudorpole. I think he was a decent presenter. Richard O'Brien's class. Very funny. Very, very funny. And you wouldn't think he's the guy that wrote The Time Warp. But he is. There you go. Dave says, I've been rewatching Keeping Up Appearances. Dave, don't know whether you've seen my video of me going to Hyacinth's house in Binley Woods, but it's up there. It's a Beyond the no, is it Tales from the Screen? I can't remember if it's a Tales from the Village Green or Beyond the Boundaries. It's one or the other. It's probably a Tales because it's in a Parish area. So yeah, Lewis, there's a lot of things on YouTube with stuff I used to watch as a child, and seeing them feels weird watching them back. Sometimes it can feel like that, yeah. Catchphrase on YouTube, says John, yeah. Finders Keepers, I don't remember that, Jade. I'm not familiar with that. Went to Oswestry back in October, and it's a great place. Absolutely. Never been to it myself, but I trust you because Shropshire is a nice county. Not set foot in that county for a long time. Spending his time climbing the clerical ladder. Indeed. Can you start the fans, please? Oh dear, we're going down memory lane here, aren't we, with all these game shows? Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You never know. Some of this stuff might appear in some of my episodes at some point because I don't know where it was all filmed. So it could appear, I guess. You never know where people are buried as well. You know, these people that have passed on. Bob Holness, incidentally, he was South African, but I think it was Maidstone. He lived. I think he lived in Maidstone when he was over here. So yeah, he might be buried there. I don't know. So at some point we'll see. Art Attack, blimmin' heck, Jade. That's taking me back to my childhood as well. The old Neil Buchanan, blimmin' heck. Oh dear, excellent. We could be here all night talking about all that, couldn't we? You know, what was on in our childhood. I'll tell you something. TV these days isn't a patch on what it was in the 90s. Facts. Pure facts. 3-2-1 with Dusty Bin, says Angie. I'm too young to remember that, I'm afraid. That was just before my time. I know what it is, or was, should I say. But I'm certainly not as proficient with that as I am with some other stuff. Henley-on-Thames and all around that area, some of it was filmed for Midsummer Murders. Yes, a lot was in Buckinghamshire as well. You might remember, if you've seen the episode in the Lee, which we did in Buckinghamshire, myself and Nikki, a couple of years ago now. Nikki actually used to serve people in the Cock and Rabbit, which is the pub in the Lee, who were in Midsummer Murders. So yeah, it was filmed in all different kinds of places. Treasure Hunt, yes, I remember that. Benny Hill, yeah. Bullseye, blimey. Good old Jim Bowen and Tony Green. Bloomin' heck. That used to be a regular Sunday thing, didn't it? You used to go in the bath on a Sunday night, have your tea, episode of Bullseye, sorted. Just before you go to bed. Fantastic. You can't beat it. You can't beat a bitter bully. Yeah, TV is indeed not as good these days, I'm afraid. John says, one of my friends knows lots about the witchcraft thing in Pendle. His dad was from that area. Yeah, they were very interesting episodes to make, those, the Pendle witches. I do believe that there are going to be a couple more that mention the Pendle witches at some point, because there are other areas around sort of Pendle Hill that I haven't been to yet, So there could be some more to talk about with them. But I definitely covered the main bits in the 4 I did not so long ago. So anyway, we have gone a long way over time here, people. We've gone 40 minutes tonight, but this happens in public live streams. We always seem to talk about a lot more because there's a lot more people in here, and it's good. It's great that you all want to come and sort of talk to me about all kinds of things. It keeps me out of mischief for a while of a Monday night anyway. But we will return to members only ones from next week onwards until I announce another public one. So yeah, thanks very much for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure, and I've got lots to do this week, and I hope you're going to enjoy these areas I go to down south. So yeah, Berkshire, Hampshire for the very first time, and East Sussex for the very first time. I'm excited about it. I hope you are too. And yeah, enjoy this little mini break, as it were. And I'll see you very soon. See you later, people. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye.